Hey there, it's February 11th and time for Proverbs 11. So, we're continuing with the contrasting the good and the bad, the upright and the wicked. In Solomon's Proverbs, this is the second chapter of his actual Proverbs. And let's get into it. Now, this first verse, he talks about this a lot, probably 20 times in the book of Proverbs. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Okay? And that he will talk about this over and over and over again. It involves cheating people, okay? Cheating people. And they do it then, they do it now, all right? Bigger packages, smaller amounts inside, and charging you more, okay? 2, when pride comes, then comes dishonor. But with the humble is wisdom, right? And we'll highlight everything that says righteousness, but we should also highlight everything that says humble, because that's God likes humble above all else. When pride comes, then comes dishonor, okay? You think you're more than somebody else, that's pride, okay? The integrity of the upright will guide them. I'm going to highlight this just for kicks, right? The integrity of the upright will guide them, but the crookedness of the treacherous will destroy them. Going on right now, isn't it? And they don't like it. Riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. Righteousness, that's a green, right? You can't take it with you. That's an old saying. All your money, and you end up in the same size grave as everybody else. And it won't get you to heaven. Okay? The righteousness of the blameless will smooth his way. The wicked will fall by his own wickedness. Right. Seeing that too. The righteousness of the upright will deliver them. Lots of righteous in here today, huh? But the treacherous will be caught by their own greed. Man. Ripped right out of today's headlines, isn't it? 7, when a wicked man dies, his expectation will perish, and the hope of the strong man perishes. Right? The righteous is delivered from trouble. But the wicked takes his place, enters his place. I wonder if there's a note over here. How is this? That is, shall enter into trouble, right? The wicked takes the place. You like that? 9, with his mouth, the godless man destroys his neighbor. But through knowledge, the righteous will be delivered. That through knowledge, the righteous will be delivered. It says over here, an hypocrite with his mouth hurteth his neighbor. A hypocrite. A dissembler that pretendeth friendship, but is a privy enemy. All right. Ends to be your friend. Secretly they hate you. Lots of that going on too. It's hard not to mention things you want to mention, but you can't, right? 10, when it goes well with the righteous, the city rejoices. And when the wicked perish, there is joyful shouting. And put all these righteous things together. 11, by the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted. By the mouth of the wicked, it is torn down. Yeah. Look at a lot of these cities around here today, right? Big cities that are in total shambles, and there's no reason for it other than the wicked are tearing them down. Okay, 12. He who despises his neighbor lacks sense, but a man of understanding keeps silent. All right? Man of understanding keeps silent. All right? I heard something yesterday. Somebody said, if you are a man of a very few words, when you do speak, people will want to hear what you say. Yeah? Think about that. He who goes about as a talebearer or a gossip reveals secrets, but he who is trustworthy conceals a matter. Now, by now, if you've listened to any of my videos, you know that I absolutely hate gossip in all its forms. Right? Most of it comes from TV and social media now. Okay. I don't watch TV. Haven't watched TV in almost 10 years. So, am I missing anything? No. I know what's going on. Right. He who is trustworthy conceals a matter. Faithful of spirit. Right. He who goes about as a gossip reveals secrets. 14. Where there is no guidance, the people fall, but in abundance of counselors there is victory. Deliverance. Right. Think about that one. 15. He who is a guarantor for a stranger will surely suffer for it, but he who hates being a guarantor is secure. This is another subject he talks about over and over and over again. Do not co-sign or take responsibility for somebody else's loan, right? You would put yourself under the control of two people when you do that. And Solomon was very much against that. 16. A gracious woman attains honor, and ruthless men attain riches. Right. Ruthless men attain riches. Right. What's it say up here about ruthless men that attain riches? Right. Riches do not profit in the day of wrath. Where was I? That? There it is. 16. Ruthless men attain riches. 17. The merciful man does himself good, but the cruel man does himself harm. Right? Good to his own soul. Be merciful, not cruel, right? You get a lot farther. 18. The wicked earns deceptive wages, but he who sows righteousness gets a true reward. Righteousness. We all want to be righteous, right? He who is steadfast in righteousness will attain to life. And he who pursues evil will bring about his own death. Got that? 20. The perverse in heart are an abomination to the Lord, but the blameless in their walk are his delight. Way, their walk or their way. The perverse in heart are an abomination to the Lord. Yeah. There's a lot of people with evil hearts, some of them in positions of great power, right? 21. Assuredly, the evil man will not go unpunished, but the descendants of the righteous will be delivered. Sooner or later, right? Sooner or later. 22 is a ring of gold in a pig's or swine's snout. So is a beautiful woman who lacks discretion. Right? See these people dancing on stage with wearing almost no clothes. Right? Lacking discretion. It's like putting a very expensive gold ring in a pig's nose. Right? It just doesn't belong. Right? 23. The desire of the righteous is only good. Got that? Can you say that? You love your neighbor? Can you love your enemy? Right? For the desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. Gotta get even, right? It says all over the Bible, don't get even. It says, let God do that for you. "24, there is one who scatters and yet increases all the more, and there is one who withholds what is justly due, and it results in only want." These go together too. Put those together, right? There's one who scatters and yet increases all the more, and there's one who withholds what is justly due, and yet it results only in want. The generous man will be prosperous, and he who waters will himself be watered. Okay? Yes, you see some people, you know they got money, but they never share, right? Now, there's a great word picture, okay? If you picture cup, okay? They say, God filleth your cup to overflowing, right? If God fills your cup and you put it on a shelf, he's not going to fill it anymore, okay? The blessings will stop. Your cup is full. I can do no more for you, right? And you stagnate, okay? If you pour your cup out, okay? If you pour out just a trickle, giving to people, God's going to keep filling it, just a trickle. If you pour out a lot, God's going to fill it a lot, okay? He will keep your cup full. If you're pouring your cup out, he's going to keep filling your cup up. And people will see this person's always getting blessed and he gets so much. And why is that? And I get nothing. That's not fair. But you don't see them pouring their cup out. So God can keep filling it up. Yeah. It's a great word picture, and it's true. The more you give, the more you will get. Okay? He who waters will himself be watered. Right? That's why the one who scatters, there is one who scatters his seed, yet increases all the more. How do you like that? 26, he who withholds grain, the people will curse him, but a blessing will be on the head of him who sells it. There's people who hoard things, okay? Mine, mine, mine. Yeah. And there's people who don't. You know, people don't like to go, Lord, you have all that and I'm starving. Can't you sell me something? No, it's mine. I have to save it. Think about that. 27, he who diligently seeks good seeks favor, but he who seeks evil, evil will come to him. You got that? Paraphrase that in today's language. I won't say what everybody else is saying, but if you look for trouble, you're going to find it, okay? If you mess around, you're going to find out. Okay? That's as close as I'll come to that. You diligently seek good. Kindness. Only be kindness and uplifting and edifying, right? You seek favor. If you look for trouble, you will find trouble every time. Okay? 28, he who trusts in his riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like a green leaf. Right? All this talking about riches. Evil men get riches. Right? They trust in them, they will fall. Always get you into trouble. 29, he who troubles his own house will inherit wind, and the foolish will be servant to the wise-hearted. Every time. Trouble your house, you inherit nothing. And I think over here it says, he that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a leaf. Here it is, he who troubles his own house. The covetous men that spare their riches to the hindrance of their families shall be deprived thereof miserably. All right. If you can't even help your own family, let alone helping the poor and everybody else, you will inherit nothing. 8:30. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who is wise wins souls. I like that whole thing. Takes. And 31. If the righteous will be rewarded in the earth, how much more the wicked and the sinner? You will reap what you sow, you will get what you deserve, right? That's Proverbs 11. And for fun, let's put all the righteous ones together. See all the good qualities of righteous men, right? Hey, riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. That righteousness delivers from death. The righteousness of the blameless will smooth his way. Right? If you don't do anything wrong, you say only kind things, uplifting things, and help people, right? Your righteousness will smooth your way. The righteousness of the upright will deliver them. Right? The righteous is delivered from trouble. Not again. Through knowledge, the righteous will be delivered. When it goes well with the righteous, the city rejoices. Getting ready to do that now, I think. He who sows righteousness gets a true reward. He who is steadfast in righteousness will attain to life. Leads to life, it says over there. The descendants of the righteous will be delivered. The seed. The desire of the righteous is only good. When you say that, only good for everybody. The righteous will flourish like a green leaf, right? But he who trusts in riches will fall. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who is wise wins souls, right? Being kind, telling people about the Lord and Jesus and what they could be experiencing instead of what they are experiencing, right? And if the righteous will be rewarded on earth, how much more the wicked and the sinner? You get what you deserve, okay? That's what it says. You get what you deserve. That's all the righteous. There's lots of righteous in there, huh? Let's look at the other highlights. I highlighted this because he talks about this a lot. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Don't cheat people, okay? The Lord finds that an abomination, and you will pay for that in the end if you cheat somebody, right? Everything used to be sold by weight. You know, back in the day, that's what they had, and people would cheat on their weights, okay? They would make their weights heavier than they should be, so that they, were selling deceptively less than they thought they were selling, and thereby cheating people, okay? They had a half a pound weight that's actually said a pound, and they put it on there, and see, that's a pound, and it's not. It's only a half a pound. You're cheating people, okay? They do that now. I mean, look at cereal boxes from 50 years ago, okay? They were great big cereal boxes. They had 1 pound of cereal in it, right? And they were smaller packages with 1 pound of cereal for, say, $3. And now you pay $5.99 for a great big box, and it's only got 7 or 8 ounces of cereal in it. That's a false balance, okay? Coffee has been sold by the pound for 100 years. Now it's sold by 12 ounces, 3/4 of a pound, and they charge you more for it, okay? And it's the same coffee, okay? It goes on. They call it shrinkflation, which is crazy to call it what it is, stealing, okay? Okay, highlighted too, when pride comes, then comes dishonor, but with the humble is wisdom, okay? God likes humble, okay? Did you know God said Moses was the most humble man that ever lived? Right? Imagine being in charge and leading millions of people and being the most humble man that ever lived. He was so humble that in the beginning, his brother Aaron had to speak for him because he couldn't even speak out loud in public. He would get tongue-tied. Humble, meek, right? That's what God likes. That means getting rid of all pride, all arrogance, all conceit, right? And being humble. Well, he who despises his neighbor lacks sense, but a man of understanding keeps silent, right? You know what's going on? Sometimes it's best to keep your mouth shut. Okay, just keep your mouth shut. 13, a big deal for me. He who goes about as a gossip reveals secrets, but he who is trustworthy conceals a matter. Right? Now, I've been a Christian for 60 years, and I've been to many churches, and I have seen some churches get completely torn apart because somebody went to somebody they thought was a friend asking for prayer and help with a problem they were having. And then that person that they thought they trusted and could, don't tell anybody, went and told somebody, and then that person told somebody else, and somebody told somebody else. And by the time it got down the line, everybody in the church believed a greatly inflated thing of somebody who just asked for prayer, right? And the person who originally asked for prayer is now humiliated. The person he thought was a friend he will never speak to again. And it tears people apart. It tears churches apart. And God hates it. Okay? Do not reveal secrets. Do not tell gossip. If somebody tells you something, you stop that. Okay? Say, I'm not going to listen to that. Okay? Where did you hear it from? Well, I heard it from so-and-so, who heard it from so-and-so, who heard it from so-and-so. Right? Feel it. You can tell that's a soapbox of mine, right? Okay, highlighted 24 and 25. And we talked about this at length. So there's one who scatters yet increases all the more, and there's one who withholds what is justly due and yet results in only want. Why aren't you blessing me, Lord? Oh, your cup is full, and you won't pour it out, right? Generous man will be prosperous, and he who waters will himself be watered. Good stuff. 27, he who diligently seeks good seeks favor, but he who seeks evil, evil will come to him. Right? If you only look for good, you're going to find good. Okay? Only look for the good. Right? If you look for trouble, evil, you're going to find it. Okay? So, there you go. That is Proverbs 11. Lots of good stuff in there. Man, we're getting into the really good stuff now. I think we're on Matthew 26 today in our through the New Testament in a year. We're on day 42, I believe. Yep. Half of Matthew 6. So there you go. We're getting into the good Proverbs now, the real decent stuff that you're supposed to, right, take to heart and learn about righteousness, right, and being humble and keeping your mouth shut, right, and pouring out your cup so God can keep filling your cup, right? The more you pour it out, the more he's going to fill it. So there you go. Give us a like if you think about it, but later on we'll continue. See you next time.